For a person in their youngs, it's normal to hide things from their parents, whether it's sneaking out to a party and drinking too much, or accidentally missing homework. But this secret of mine I not only did not tell my parents, even my close friends rarely know. I had a secret relationship with someone online and found out he's a totally jerk in the end. This would have been unforgivable, but everyone around me at that time didn't know that I had been in a relationship like that. I didn't mean to be a relationship flirt, but the story was so bizarre that I didn't realize until after the relationship was over, and maybe deep down I didn't believe it that would last for long from the beginning. I think he was difficult to talk about. The beginning, the meeting of two extremely empty souls. As I said earlier, yes, I had secretly fallen in love with strangers I had never met, and we were in love for quite a long time. The sudden pandemic left me with a lot of free time at home and nothing to do every day. Perhaps because of the emptiness of real life, I became more and more active on the internet. That's when I met Mr. White. We were just teammates, matched in the same game, but because of the good cooperation in the game, we add each other friends to make it easier to play the game together in the future. I thought he would be like the other friends I had added, lying quietly on my list as a dark person. I didn't expect that he would occasionally share some interesting stories about his life with me. His stories can always bring fun to my boring life. So we gradually got known to each other and became friends on the internet. The development. Belief in fatalism for no reason. That year I was 18 and he was 24. As a recent high school graduate, I had no social experiment and had little opportunity to meet elder people than my teachers and parents. Therefore, I always considered myself lucky to know Mr. White. I was lucky to have the opportunity to learn about college life in advance. I was lucky to have the opportunity to learn about the troubles I might encounter at work in the future. The stories he shared with me always captured my interest. Maybe it was a difficult customers making unreasonable demands in his coffee shop, or maybe it was a new way of making coffee that he learned today. Our bond grew deeper and deeper, and on the day of my 18th birthday, he wrote me a long birthday message. It was the first time I received a handwritten letter with a postmark. The more I was touched, the more I thought our match was destiny. It was as if he was my soulmate, the only one who can understand me and support me unconditionally. The climax. It was heartfelt and nebulous. Finally, one ordinary afternoon, as usual, while I was sitting in the cafe thinking about him, he confessed he loved me. I accepted his confession almost immediately, and all I know about him was just a few anecdotes, a few photos, and endless sweet words. We would express our admiration and love for each other without missing words, mimicking words, just like any couples in love. He has tumbly given me a feeling of joy and happiness. I was unconsciously raised the corner of my mouth because one of his "I'm thinking about you." I also will not receive his timely reply and faggot. Everything seems so natural, except that we can't hug or kiss or touch each other bodies. But we can call for 24 hours. Yes, 24 hours. Or even talk on the phone while we slept. Because then we could pretend that others was sleeping with us. During that time, I firmly believed that we were deeply in love with each other, but I never mentioned the extensions of Mr. White to anyone around me in real life. He lived quietly in my phone, carefully treasured in my heart. I didn't mean to tell anyone, but every time I wanted to mention to my friends that I had such a deep bond with someone I didn't know online, I felt a sense of shame. It's like I'd done something stupid, and indeed, it was a stupid thing. When I tried to dial Mr. White's phone, I found that the person who picked up the phone was a woman. He claimed to be Mr. White's girlfriend, and I turned out to be Waxing, who hooked up with her husband. I was frozen in place, wondering how I had become the bad woman who had ruined someone's relationship. The guilt was overwhelming, but I felt so aggrieved. I could hear the woman on the other end of the phone sobbing vaguely. I feel the temperature of my blood drop. I hate myself for falling into the trap of love so easily and believe Mr. White's words. Oh, he might not even be named White. I sympathized with the woman on the other end of the phone, but still wanted to hear Mr. White clear his mouth to clarify the truth of the matter. Unfortunately, I didn't wait. Mr. White just disappeared from my life. Epilogue. Giving up loving each other if that makes everyone suffering. I always felt sorry for the way I inadvertently broke up someone's relationship, but I really didn't mean to either. I admit that it was my silly that led me to easily fall in the trap of that bad man, but wasn't Mr. White, who created first, more at fault? There is saying that one who does not know is not guilty. I'm sorry for the hurt of that woman, but I also been hurt a lot. I hate those rotten men on the internet who casually put on decent skin and come out to cheat on girls. I also hate how easily it's get catch up in the whirlpool of scammers. I had summarized the following advice for those who are now in online relationship or likely to be in one. First, the internet will put you in touch with people who are completely unlikely to cross paths with you in your life. They may belong to completely unrelated circles, and these circles that you don't understand may attract you at first because you may belong to a completely different classes. But gradually, you will realize that there is a reason why you don't belong to that circle. Whether your education is far superior to your income, conflicts will always gradually appear after time has washed away the passion of love. Second, always keep your wits about you. If you are a girl, please must protect yourself. Never be overwhelmed by a moment of emotional upheaval in your romance is progressing at a rapid pace. Then, dear, please be sure to slow down and score off if he is worth of trust in the end. Third, but not last, for those men on the network, I essentially advise you not to become a liar. Don't be a jerk. Perhaps you will test the sweetness of all after the phone, but sooner or later you will pay the price for your own. One is greedy for pleasure. Do not underestimate the power of any one person after you get the love of others, but also get is also a burden. Love is also a burden and responsibility.